guys, hello and welcome back to Uuuu with Esenam. If today happens to be the first time you're watching me, please subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, share with your friends, and leave a comment in the comment section. And thank you if you're a returning viewer. So today I'm gonna be snappy and very precise. Okay, just go on a journey with me to Saudi Arabia. Let's go! So the last time we ended at where I had to go back to the agency and somebody came around. The person was from Kuwait, but then they were based in Saudi at the time. So after talking with the person and asking the person if I was going to be allowed to use my phone and all of those things, and he agreed. I mean, we came into a particular term, and there was a condition attached to it. So like after agreeing or whatever, we set off to Saudi Arabia. But hey guys, I just want you to know something. In Saudi Arabia, if you are offered freedom, trust me, it comes with a cost. It is very costly. Chances are you may not even get the freedom they told you they were going to give you, or you may get half or quarter freedom. I don't know if you really get what I'm trying to say, but you get to understand it as I go through, the narration, okay? So I got to Saudi Arabia and our place was kind of outskirts, like it was outskirts the whole country, Saudi Arabia. It was called Hafa al-Batin. Yeah, so you can Google that or search for that in Saudi Arabia. That was where we went to. So it was around summer at the time, and Saudi Arabia is a desert kind of a place. It's 100% desert, and so if it is summer, then it's very, very hot, and if it's winter, it's very cold. So we could record up to like 50 degrees Celsius. When it's very hot, like that's the level. And then supposing it's extremely cold, it could come down to like negative 12 degrees Celsius, around that, that's temperature level. Yeah. So unfortunately for me, it was summer. And when it's summer, it's very dry, it's very dusty, and extremely hot. Okay. It is also at this time that you actually pack everything winter and put them aside and replace them with summer clothes. So if you have a large family, that means you have a lot of packing and unpacking to do. And unfortunately, if you find yourself in, say, a duplex or a 3-story or something, that one, you are completely dead. And so when it's getting to summer, like you have a lot of thinking doing, or winter, like you have a lot of thinking to do, because you're thinking, hey, I'm not going to pack, I'm not going to unpack and stuff like that. Charlie, it's a whole traumatic event. The mere thinking of, doing those packing and unpacking, especially going upstairs, downstairs, moving up and down. Yeah. Anyways, there were supposed to be a family of 5. That was what I was told before I left Kuwait, only to come to Saudi and they were a family of 10. Now, one of my madam's daughter was married with, I think, 2 children at a time, so she wasn't staying in the house. There was another who had recently divorced and was staying in the house with 2 sons. I think she had only 2 children, so she was staying with them, and they were very small, they were very young. So she was staying with them in the house. And one other son was in the army at the time at Dammam. So I think after Hafa al-Batin, there were other like small regions or something like that. Dammam, before you go to the capital of Saudi, which is Riyadh. Yeah. So he was in the army at Damam and he wasn't in the house at the time. He comes and go. Alright. But talking about divorce, it was quite strange to me because those people, they don't really, when it comes to marriage, it is like for better, for worse. You don't often hear of divorce and stuff like that. So I was actually wondering, it was later on that Fatin explained to me why she had to leave the marriage and stuff. So yeah, maybe I might talk about it or not, I don't know. Quite unfortunate for me, I got to the house at a very wrong time. Wrong in the sense that at the time I got to the house, first off, it was summer, so it was extremely dusty. The environment was extremely dirty, and our compound was so huge that it could at least contain or accommodate close to eight cars. It was that big. So if you've ever been to Saudi, or you could even Google it, their houses are really, really, really huge as compared to Kuwait. Kuwait is not all the time, they are kind of moderate, but like in Saudi, their houses can be very, very big. And then if you're talking about Arabs, you should also know one thing. Their families are huge. I got to know. I don't know how true it is though, but I got to know that the more they give birth, the more they are paid. And then their children are being taken care of from nursery or whatever till they finish school completely. That's till they finish the university. And they are given certain allowances every month. So you can imagine, some of them give birth yearly. So if you go to a house, the probability of you meeting about 15 children by one woman is highly possible. Yeah. So they have extremely huge families. Now back to why it was unfortunate I actually arrived at the wrong time. My madam's elder sister was around at the time. I think they had some housing problems, and so they had to move in with my madam and her family for some months. Can I feel your chest beating? And this woman we are talking about had about 8 children. No, they were more than 8, but I personally met 8 of them. But I think some of them too were married. They get married at a very young age, like 19, 20, 21, they are married, and then yeah, that's just it. This woman was presently staying at the house. Was it present? Okay, at the time, because it's in the past now. But at the time she was staying in the house, she was there with 5 of her children, who were all ladies. So you can imagine the mess, anyways, we'll leave that for another day. As if that was not enough, it also meant that the number of visitors trooping in and out of the house was going to be multiple. Like, it would be it would be more than necessary, because friends to my madam will be around, family or relatives to my madam will be around, whereas relatives and friends to my madam's sister would also be around. So you can imagine. Then we have Benat, the youths, or young daughters and stuff. They would also have friends coming around to have coffee parties and stuff like that. So you can imagine. So it was the wrong time, the time was so wrong. Oh my God. And here I was. So you can imagine waking up on a daily, cooking for these people, cleaning the house, running errands, serving visitors, moving up and down. It was what it was an experience indeed. breaking point for me. Like when Mina, I felt like, oh God, this is just too much. Like it's just too much. It's too much. I can die. My breaking points were when it comes to Ramadan. Now during the Ramadan, they fast, they eat very early and then fast throughout the day. And once they break at 6, they eat, chats, what, till mid-morning, like, around 4 or 5 thereabouts. Then they go back to sleep and stuff like that. Then you can imagine the kind of work and cooking you do. Like you feel like, oh okay, the whole day they are sleeping. So whilst they are sleeping, you are cleaning up and clearing the mess and everything, and you have to start cooking variety of dishes, like variety. I don't know if I still remember some of the names of the dishes. Marek, the judge, Marek Laban, Esh, Shorba. They have different types of shorba, but like I don't really know their English names, so I wouldn't be able to know. You will prepare variety of dishes, variety, and once they break the fast, they eat. You stay with them, whatever they need and all of that. So they've broken the fast, okay. All the food you prepared were for the breaking of the fast. After they are done, you have to prepare what they eat, they are going to eat before starting the fast in the morning, okay. You have to prepare that one as well. And whilst they are done and have left to eat, you are left with the work to do. Hey. The second is the awarding. So when I was staying with my family, the family at Saudi Arabia, they had 2 different weddings, okay. The first one was in Kuwait, so it wasn't much of a work for me. First off, we were not in our house. Second off, we had other people helping out, and then the wedding wasn't done in the house. It was done at an event center, and so the event center had delegates, working around the clock and stuff like that. The second wedding, which was Nur's wedding, happened right under my nose. In fact, one of our halls was transformed to where the bride was supposed to be seated. Oh my God. The compound became the event center alongside the other halls, because our house was a story, okay. I didn't personally cook for them, but I was cooking for our visitors. So imagine you're hosting a marriage ceremony in your house already. Almost all your family members are there, and you are hosting them. You're preparing like breakfast, lunch, supper, and whatever comes with it. There are coffee and tea breaks that comes in between. Washing dishes, running errands, taking care of the kids, and all of that. The breaking point for me at that particular wedding was when we were supposed to serve the visitors before they left for their house. They ordered they ordered food from outside, and these people brought the food without bringing people to help serve. So I was supposed to be serving, bringing plates, doing this, and the people were so many. Hey, at this point, after everything was done, and the plates and everything was in the kitchen like that, and everything basa like that, I sat and I started crying. Hey, I was crying, like looking at how the compound has turned into, and looking at the work ahead of me. I just sat down and started crying. My mother was like, I could just leave them and go to bed. The next day I would come in. But like, when you leave them and go to bed, you wake up and come back, and the thing is like that. So why don't finish crying? I mean, put some strength together and face my work. My third and final breaking point, no, that's my third. My third breaking point had to do with going to work for my madam's kids. So now that they were married and were in their husbands' homes, they were supposed to take responsibility for whatever they do in their house. Unfortunately, Esenam will not rest. There were times my madam would say, oh, let's go and visit Minoro. Oh, wow, that was a very serious lie. It meant, let's go so you go and clean Minoro's house. Imagine your daughter is married, you get to the house, and the house is so filthy. Like you enter the kitchen and the cabinet, everything is extremely filthy. It was as though she hadn't cleaned anything in months. You know, this lady I was talking about, getting married about a month now, and you enter her kitchen and it was so nasty, and you have to do all of those works. I mean, go to the compound, go to the washrooms and everything, and the place was so messy. Then you move to Jose's house. So anytime I was told, oh, let's go and visit Jose, let's go and visit Minori, let's go and visit Hayat, amongst my madam's children, the only person who was quite clean and stuff was Hayat. For Hayat, her house was extremely big, and so it was like she couldn't cover a lot of grounds as to when it comes to cleaning or something. Yeah, so she does the relevant places like their parlor and their bedroom and the kitchen, and then she leaves the rest. So going to her place to help her with the cleaning isn't a big deal, but to be used, you have been employed to work for a particular house, and now you are being used to service others, like move from house to house, working. And then it was so like disheartening. It wasn't something anybody could actually take in like that. There were times I was so angry, but how for do? There is very little you can do. So the final breaking point for me had to do with when my pay wasn't coming in as I expected, and even when I'm paid, my madam will come back and come and borrow, will come and ask me to lend her the money. Then paying becomes so difficult, such that sometimes you have to ask her to buy you something to replace the money she's actually taking. It was so bad. It was that bad. Then I could also add when their sons started misbehaving. Some of them, especially the youngest one. There were times the youngest one, when nobody's around especially, he would come and sit in the parlor very naked, sitting there masturbating. I don't know, probably he would be watching pornography or something, but whatever he's watching and he's masturbating right in the parlor. And the parlor, if the parlor is here, the kitchen door is here. So supposing I'm working in the kitchen and have to come out, then my eyes will see things I'm not supposed to see. And then I begin to wonder, like, are you actually doing this intentionally so that I'll see and be aroused, or what? So I hope this narrative was detailed enough. Okay, I hope it was. And basically, in a nutshell, that was my experience in Saudi Arabia. Was it worth it? Well, I don't really know. At the end of the day, I traveled. At the end of the day, these experiences, nobody can take. At the end of the day, I could still speak some broken Arabic. And, well, I'm still alive. So, as to whether it's worth it or not, I'll leave that to you to be the judge of it. Okay, so leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know your least favorite part or favorite part of this whole narration so far. And I just want to commend you for staying true, the very beginning of the narration. inspiration to this very moment. Thank you so much for staying through to watch to the very end. Thank you for sharing, thank you for liking, thank you for leaving a comment. I really appreciate everything you guys are doing. I really, really do. And please don't stop doing that. So until my next video, I just want to say don't forget to do you, and do you. Bye-bye.